Hey guys, welcome back to The Science Kid. Today we're going to be talking about mosquitoes. So in the past month or two during the summer, it's been really hot and humid. So that attracts a lot of mosquitoes over to where I live. So when there's a ton of mosquitoes, that means you're going to get a ton of bites. And I got a ton of bites. Like a ton. I probably got over 100 of them. And after getting a lot of bites, I decided I better do some research on how to stop getting mosquito bites and how to get rid of them. Now, I did a lot of research and it probably took me over 10 hours because there was almost no information anywhere and I had to dig really deep. And I realized when I was looking on YouTube, there weren't that many videos talking about mosquitoes and how to stop the bites or get rid of them or repel them naturally, because I don't want to use any of those chemicals on my body. I mean, it first doesn't smell good at all. And I mean, obviously that would keep the mosquitoes away, but it really isn't good. So I just thought, man, I need to find a pretty good way to get rid of mosquitoes. But before we talk about that, I gotta tell you a little bit about mosquitoes first. So there are about 3,000 different types of mosquitoes that live all over the world. And only about 76 of them bite people in the US. That's only 6% of them. Now just think about that. And after there's only 6% of them, that means there's a male and female version. Now, only the female part of both male and female mosquitoes actually bite you. So the mosquitoes don't even eat the blood. They just use the blood to have kids. That's it. They only eat nectar. They're literally like a butterfly, except for their proboscis is really sharp. But the thing with mosquitoes is that they're attracted to many different things. For example, one of the main things that they're attracted to is your smell. So like I said, since they eat nectar, that's pretty much all they eat, they're really attracted to sweet smells. That means that whether or not you have scented sunscreen or scented hand sanitizer or pretty much scented anything, like they'll come running for you. Like, cause if you smell good, then they're pretty much gonna say, oh, this is like a flower. Oh, and they have blood too, what a bonus. So they're gonna come running for you to get your blood. Now, it's not just your smell that's the main thing. It's also what you're wearing. So, as you may or may not know, mosquitoes are mainly attracted to like darker colors, like all the color blacks, browns, and dark blues. And they're attracted to those because the colors, they trap heat. For example, when you're walking around outside and you're wearing a dark blue shirt or something like that, then your shirt is gonna become really hot. And then the mosquitoes are gonna go, oh, this person's extra warm, better go check him out. Because mosquitoes, they're like really wanting, because to know that they need to go get blood, they need to smell the carbon dioxide in the air and heat. So depending on what clothing you're wearing, they will probably come after you more if you're wearing a darker color. Then it's your blood type. So mosquitoes don't really know this, but if you tend to have the type O blood type, it doesn't matter whether or not it's positive or negative, the mosquitoes will come after you even more. Now, the type A blood is the least likely to get bit, because there's been tons of tests that have been done, and they show that there's a lot less bites for A than O. And when you're A, it doesn't mean you're not gonna get any bites, just less than I probably would, which is probably less than 100 in 2 months. But I had a friend who went to Hungary this year, and he said he got probably over 100 bites on one leg in a week. And it's just insane to think about that, because it just depends on where you are, there's a bigger mosquito population, and it just depends on the weather. So if you have gotten a mosquito bite before, you will know they are really itchy. Now, you may be wondering the reason why mosquito bites are really itchy. So the basic reason for mosquito bites being itchy is that their saliva, which is what you spit out and it's inside of your mouth, it contains an anticoagulant and different types of proteins. Now, the proteins are foreign substances that trigger the body's immune system to release a histamine. Now, a histamine is a compound that will help white blood cells get to the affected area. And the histamine is pretty much what causes everything, the itchiness, to the inflammation, to all the swelling. Now, if you do get a bite, after all of the histamines and stuff, there are some ways to ease the itchiness and inflammation. I have done quite a bit of researching, and after doing the researching, I did a bit of testing on my mom and my grandma and my brother and myself, and I found there are 3 best ones that really soothe the pain. So number 1 is lemons or limes. You pretty much just cut it up and squeeze it on there. And when you do that, it basically disinfects it and it works pretty well. Then the next one is aloe vera. The same stuff that you would use on a sunburn, you just apply it right on top of where it is, and it basically goes down by about 50%. Then the best one, it's when you take apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and you pour it together, put it on a cloth, and apply it to wherever you got your bite, and you just leave it there, and it works like magic. It's amazing. It just gets rid of all the swelling and all the itchiness. But it doesn't work forever. It pretty much works for about, I'd say, 4 to 5 hours. And then after that, it comes back up and you can just do it again and it will go away. So I'm trying to get rid of mosquito bites entirely. That means no bites at all whatsoever. So I decided to do an experiment on my own. So my grandma, she also suffers from getting tons of bites, as I do and my mom does. So we decided to come up with a plan. So she went on Amazon or something like that, and she found these yellow bands. And they just pretty much go over your arms or ankles, and they keep the mosquitoes away. And I looked at the packaging on these mosquito repelling bands, and I saw that they had lemongrass and they also had citronella essential oils in them. And I just thought, oh, what if I just tried putting on the lemongrass or citronella essential oils on by themselves? So I pretty much did a really long experiment every single day, switching between a different kind of essential oil or doing a different, or using the bands, or I found a couple other ways to do it. So the first thing I did was I tried the lemongrass essential oil. And I pretty much mixed the essential oil in with a lotion, and I applied it on my arms and my legs. And on that day, I think I only got 2 bites. And on the second day, which was my least favorite, because I can see why the mosquitoes don't like citronella. It's this really weird lemon smell. It smells like it's probably like really old lemons, and it's just really bad. So I can probably see why mosquitoes would stay away from it. I mean, I would too. So I put that on for a day, and it was, really bad smelling. And I'm pretty sure I got 1 bite that day. And as you may know, that the citronella, it's probably the most famous mosquito repellent, because it's used in movies or anything like that. They just say, oh, what did you use to get rid of the mosquitoes? I used a citronella candle or something like that. So then the next day, I used the mosquito repelling bands. Now, after that day, I ended up getting, I'm pretty sure, either 1 or no bites, because after a couple days, I realized that some bites weren't turning up immediately. Like I would feel an itch and I would scratch it, but I really wouldn't see anything. Because, you can just be itchy on your own, so it's kind of a little bit confusing if you're doing it multiple days in a row. Then after that, I used another soap. So my grandma found another thing online, and she lent it to me, and it's this kind of bar soap that also has a ton of essential oils in it. But since it was from my grandma, it made me smell like an old lady. And on that day, I got 7 bites because it's really sweet and it's almost like a perfume, and it just attracted tons of mosquitoes. And then I thought of another thing. So when you're next to a ton of fans, normally the mosquitoes won't get you, and that's because when you fly, it kind of disturbs their flight pattern. So I spent a day sitting at my computer and in front of like 3 fans all flying at me at once, and I had one mosquito. I had a fan at my ankles too, because you know fans normally don't go on the ground. But anyway, I got one on the ground, and I think that day, even though I had the fans blasting at me from everywhere, I think I got 4 bites that day. So throughout the entire experiment, I found that some stuff works and some stuff doesn't. And at the very beginning of me trying to do this experiment, since I was just tired of getting bit by mosquitoes, I have a lemongrass plant in my backyard. So I just pretty much took the lemongrass and I tied it around my arms and legs. It was really funny, and I just looked like a crazy person walking around with lemongrass attached to me. But after the entire experiment, I figured out that the mosquito repelling bands really work the best. And if you want to see the mosquito repelling bands, not sponsored, I'll leave a link in the description. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll make sure to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.